city council in District 13. And as I was speaking before, I really came here, first off, to meet every one of you. And I thank Danny for inviting me. I'm going to echo on Pinion as far as getting as many people out to run for office. We do need great Republican passionate candidates. But before we bring that to the surface, we have to clean. We have to get rid of the poison. There is a rotten seed that's been planted in the garden that's not allowing for the trees to grow, you know, and what's growing is trees that are siphoning our oxygen. So, and I'm speaking about the Republican chairman of the Bronx County, Mike Rendino. I call him Corrosive Rendino. And the reason why I call him that is because every candidate, he nominates the candidate, and then he's the one that takes the candidate down. He calls it optics, you see? It's like television. We're gonna tell a story and we're gonna pretend we're doing something, but they do nothing. I know I'm not the only candidate that has had a chairman, attack them. My other opponent, George Havanack, was tormented by the chairman because all along he wanted his sister to win. Imagine that. Imagine the Board of Elections commissioner. He gets paid $202,000 a year, as if that's not enough to go an hour a day to a public hearing. That's all he participates in. You know, now he wants his sister because he has greater prospects. He's right now injecting himself in casino deals in Nassau County. He's got, he manipulates Nassau County and tells them that, the casinos is going to be great for the community, but we know casinos are going to bring crime, okay? So this man, all he does is talk, and everything that comes out of his mouth, you have to wonder which side is speaking, if it's that side or this side. At the end of the day, he is the element that everyone should be angry in the city of New York, because if you think it doesn't affect you, it absolutely does. We're in a one-party rule, and it's almost 3 decades, right? Yeah. And it seems like we can't get a Republican in. But it's not because of Republican candidates like the 2 young ladies in the back who are gorgeous and fighters. It's not because we can't get them in, right? It's because we have chairmen that are so interested in their expansion of power that they could give a hoot about any one of yous, okay? They'll come out and talk the talk, but never walk the walk. They're never going to walk the walk. And it's about time that we grow together as a community and say enough. Demand more from your chairman. Go and ask, run for committee, right, county committee. Do something more, okay? Get involved with it and push the envelope and don't allow them to bully other candidates. It's unacceptable. It's one of the hardest things that somebody can do. I thought my job was hard. I fight insurance companies. I'm a public insurance adjuster. I represent the public against the insurance company. I've never lost a case. I'm passionate and I'm a fighter. I thought that was the hardest. When I started running, last year, when I ran for state senate, Phil Grillo did an amazing job. We ran a campaign for only 2 months, and we came out the victors in the Bronx. We didn't win the race because of Westchester County, but we won the Bronx. And instead of the chairman recognizing that the very district that I won, District 13, I beat a Democrat. I should have been the candidate, but he fought me every single possible way, and stopped at nothing, because he needs his sister there. I call her the puppet, the placeholder. She's a puppet, and she's going to think about it. Is she going to go against her husband? Is she going to go against her brother? She's going to do the bidding for them, and he's probably got future prospects of running for mayor. This is all about expansion of power. And I hate to say it, I know that Pinion is a great guy, but if he came down to speak about Cox and saying that Cox is going to do something, well, Cox must have saw what I was putting out there, because I put in newspapers. I put articles in there for the public to see what Rendino was about. There was one article that was written here in Queens. It was called Profit by Loss. He made $1 million according to that article. According to that article, he made $1 million off of John Cummings' campaign. Can you imagine that? So is it about the win or is it about the loss? Because it seems like they make a hell of a lot of money when you lose. Because they're in bed with the Democrats. I call him the whore of the Democrats. And I'm not going to stop talking about it because innocents, seniors are getting affected, children are getting affected. They're putting out vending machines that's going to normalize crack pipes to our children, right? We had Pride Week last week where, you know, they were screaming out and chanting, "We're here, we're queer, and we're coming from for your children." This is disgusting. And we can't blame candidates. We have to blame the seed, because the seed makes it possible for no one to win but the people that they've already made a backroom deal with. I want to say thank you, everybody. Don't let go of this. Keep on the fight. God bless you all. Thank you so much. And vote and support Phil Grillo, because he's the best.
Any questions for Samantha before I go to you?
Yes, any questions? Yes, baby.
Thank you, Warren, for all the things that you've done for the party, for other like-minded people that think like you, that walk like you, look like you, and, you know.
Yes,
So,
sis.
what are you gonna do? Where do you go from here? Now that you know that you.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take every step possible to remove the corrosion in the Bronx.
Oh, great.
He's gonna go. The corrosion is gonna go. We're cleaning that up. We're gonna clean it up. We need good representation, and I'm all for the balance of representation. We have, you know, a constitution that talks about the enumerated powers, checks and balances, right? But who's doing the checks and who's doing the balance? If it's just one party, we might as well start calling New York Commie New York, because soon enough it's going to be a communistic state. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Our children are overdosing. They're normalizing crack pipes. You can go and just put your zip code in and they start coming out. Children are curious. Today they're going to look at it and go, "Oh, what's this?" Tomorrow they're going to try it. The next day they're going to seek the crack. Let's try to get high. And they want to tell us that it's about saving lives. Well, if you want to use Narcan and if you want to put Narcan in the hands of people, then leave it at the pharmacy where responsible adults can go and get it and have it in their possession in case somebody, you know, overdoses. This is about a mental disorder that clearly, to me, I call it a disease that has no cure if we don't get up and fight the fight and fight it at the seed level and make sure that it's not going to infect us all, you know, if we don't do something about it. Thank you.
Where do you stand on the medical freedom issue?
I'm all for my body, my choice, right? I don't appreciate anybody telling me that I have to get a shot. I didn't get a shot. I won't get a shot. That's my choice. When I was born, God gave me my promise to free will when I took in my first breath. And no one's taking that from me.
Right.
The Constitution asserts that promise. We don't get it from Constitution, we get it from God. That's the position I take with it. Anybody else?
Any other questions?
Yes.
So how do we plan for the 50-minute cities coming and all the weather, the next weather pandemic?
The weather pandemic.
Next pandemic. Next pandemic.
The smoke.
Congestion pricing.
Well, I'm not for the conjunction. I think it's ridiculous. Look, you know, there was a questionnaire that was put on New York City votes, and the question had to do with, you know, what was my position on climate change and whether or not taxes were going to benefit. And my thoughts are this, you know, our earth is going to cleanse itself. And I don't care what we do. Tax dollars are not going to change Mother Nature's mind. If it means to do something, it's going to do it. This is not the first time in our historical earth that it cleansed itself. You know, they're saying that we need to get rid of our boilers and raise the taxes and raise this. It's all about them making the money, you see. This is a get-rich-quick plan while every one of us get broke. That's what it is. So I don't buy it, and I don't buy there was a pandemic, but I'm a firm believer in the man above. I have a date of birth, and I have a date of death, and nothing's taken me in between. That's my thoughts, you know, so that's where I stand. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And we have Dean Tan, who is right now the winning on the machine vote. He's going to be our recovery.
Good evening, everyone. So my name is Dean Tan. I'm running for city council in District 43rd. So I want to echo that to this lady. So I am not a flavor by the party. I'm not endorsed by the party at the very beginning. I actually suppressed by the party. Well, for whatever reason it is, as the Constitution, we have the right to run for office no matter what. So whatever reason that you give me is not